Hey guys, it's Vinny. I'm back. So today's a little bit different. I'm doing something different. You may ask, what are you doing with a backpack? Well, of course I'm going metal detecting, but I'm switching it up. No park detecting for me today. I don't have any special permissions. I'm winging it. I'm going and I'm going to knock on some doors and see if I can get some yeses to some old houses I've been scouting for a very long time. So I'm packing up some snacks, got my keys. Unfortunately, I'm doing this old school. I don't have my vehicle, I don't have my car. So I'm gonna ride a bike. It's good for the environment. So it's gonna be super hot. I got some water, got some food, got some other stuff. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully these people are very nice and courteous, and I can get in there and find some cool stuff and recover some history. So keep you guys updated. Until then, peace. Okay guys, Vinny back. I got some bad news. I don't really have any good news either. So I went out to door knock, and unfortunately I don't have my car today. So I was just riding my bike. You know, it's good exercise and everything. And right now it's early in the morning. It's like 9 o'clock. So it's real early, like I said. So I went to one of the parks just to wait and wait for time to go by, because I was going to start door knocking around 10. And I saw, as I left the park, because the guy was mowing, I saw a guy outside his house doing some yard work. So I rode by, and then I double backed and went and talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And he didn't say anything. He was very cut and dry, very short with me. He didn't really say much, and I was like, "How are you today?" Like, trying to get him to talk, and he really wasn't talking. So I was like, I metal detect for a hobby, and I was wondering if I could detect your house. And he just gave me a very short, firm no, and then went back to what he was doing. And that was it. And I just kind of turned around and got my stuff together, got ready to get back on my bike. And I was like, "Have a good day." And he just kind of shook his head a little bit, and that was it. So very disappointing. So I was like, okay, he was just that guy. He just doesn't like people or something. I don't know. So I figured, where am I going to go now? I couldn't go to the park because they were mowing. I had to go somewhere, so I started hitting some of the tree rows, an old spot here in town, old brick road, curb strips, the curb strips, which I've done before. I've done them many times. I've done all of them in the town. So I know I can do them for a fact. I've actually had cops stop and talk to me and said, "Yeah, you're perfectly fine doing this." Telling me, if you're in the tree row, you are completely fine. So I know for a fact in my town, like, that's okay. So I was within my rights and everything to be there. And I locked the bike up. And there's this house, this really nice house. Years ago, when I got into detecting, I was metal detecting those same tree rows, and the lady was really nice. I had a nice conversation with her and everything. And that's where I was at. Was basically the same spot, because I found a couple quarters there. And I'm detecting, I'm doing my thing. And she comes out. I'm across the road by now, on the opposite side. She comes out of her house, and I can hear her talking, and I see her on the phone, so I figured she was just on the phone and saw somebody and came to see, but she was talking on the phone. And I lowered my headphones, said, "Were you talking to me?" And she said, like, waved me off, like, no. And then said, "Don't do it again." And I was like, just looking at her like, what? I was across the road, so I couldn't really see her that well, and she was kind of in her door, but not in her house. I don't know. So I said, "I'm over here," and she said, "Don't do it again." And I was like, "In the tree row?" And she was like, "Don't do it again, don't do it again, don't do it again." I was like, "Okay," and I just kind of didn't say anything. So I just stayed on my side of the road, I guess, and away from her side. But I could have easily walked over there and metal detect, like I know I can. I mean, it wouldn't have been the proper or nice thing to do, even though she said to not to, but that's not really her property. It's an easement, so really, like, it's just like public sidewalk. So after that, I just said, forget about it. Forget about door knocking. If this is the 2 responses I've gotten from people and I haven't even, like, knocked on a door, I'm going home. So I went home. I'm sorry, guys. That's just, I don't know. This is why I rather get private permissions, meet the people, and then hit their house. Trying to door knock is just, it's just something, man. Sometimes you have great luck with it, and sometimes people are just weird. I don't know. We live in a weird world these days where people think the worst. So, sorry to give you that long, boring story, but I just had to get it out there. Not my cheery self. Until next time, guys. Peace.